G'day and welcome. Episode, I'm going to stab at it, 22.
Nailed it.
Oh, Lizard.
Trouble is, yeah.
Yeah, big week. We had no Monday show this week, but how's the week been, boys?
Week's been fucking grim. But we'll get to that, I guess, on the Monday show and we dive deeper. But Sunday was the toughest fucking 8.5 minutes of my life. Drove fucking 2.5 hours to get to Bendigo. God bless Ross Brody for meeting me halfway and keeping me company. Made sandwiches. We had little Coke Zeros.
Of course he did.
Shit. Yeah,
he's a fucking ripper. What a legend.
But as Grouse Mountain at $1.30, $50,000 maiden, was sort of like walking into the yard. Was probably when Far kicked that bloke in the fucking head, and we roared, and everyone looked at us like, "You guys are not sweet." And then I had to go and talk to Blake Sheehan and Gavin, and then Ross is going, you know what Ross is like.
Yeah. He wouldn't just leave it either. You'd be talking to someone and
he's not dust, but it's not good. You know? And then the horse got beat and ran second, so it was a fucking grim 10 minutes. But and it was even worse, perhaps. Thursday night, I laid the winner of race 2, 3, and 4 at the Bermuda Triangle of Form Pakenham, but we just backed one at 20-1 and laid a couple in that race, so we are fucking back.
Going bang. Hey, Rat?
Busy week, mate. Bit going on at work, so I've been light on the tools for everything else, but looking forward to tearing in tonight, and then Monday we should be back with you with a normal episode of The Crow. Dicko, you wanted to get something off your chest before we start?
It's not your fault, Praddy, and if you're at home, you're angry you didn't get an episode on Monday, don't go after Praddy. He's got a job, he's got commitments. You know, Tom and I are ready to go. We're ready to go, but we've got commitments. We do our best. We hope to be back Monday for a big show. What's your week been like? Any activities that you need to self-report or anything that's happened through the week?
It's been a busy few weeks, actually, just sort of off-field. We're doing some preparing for Round Zero, the media and the Channel 7, the Fox Footy, the like. We did some Fox Footy the other night. You were saying Will Hayward do some Shawn Michaels. Some pretty good work there.
Can we confirm Will's coming on the podcast within the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks as a guest, interview style?
Yeah, it's firming. Probably about one flame on Sportsbet if you're talking about market firming with him to come on. So he's got a bit of support. Yeah, Budgie Smugglers today.
Did you go like full man chest, or did you shave it down again? What did we do there?
Yeah, so my hair was looking very sheepish.
Rugged.
Unkept. Yeah, the chest was hairy. Downstairs was hairy.
It was.
So got the Manscaped. If you haven't got a Manscaped, I might have said this before. And if they want to come on board because it's one of the great shavers in Australia. So it was all Manscaped, and we had a good day today, and it was good.
Yeah, shout out to Manscaped. If you want to cover the final 0.25% of the podcast market, we'd love to have you. Obviously, I'm born and bred in the Shire, God's country, the birthplace of Australia. I've got spies everywhere in Sydney, and it's come across my desk that a young man that I adore, you're very close with, Tom, was spotted in an eastern suburbs green cafe tab wagering very early on a Saturday morning. Now the question I have for you is, have one guess at who it was. Leadership group.
Cruss.
The Cruss has been spotted early. And what would he have been betting on?
He would have been on the way to my house. He put an NBA multi on.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I said it would have been some NBA like.
Yeah. And you know what game it was?
Luca?
No. The Phoenix Suns or something were up by 15, went down by 3 and he called home. I was sitting next to me, called home, went down by 3 with 5 seconds to go. He's hit the point guard, whatever you call it, has hit a 3-pointer with 0.4 seconds left, drained it, and they've won. So it was gold. So he landed the multi crust, so he was happy. Right, I'll straighten it up. Big week, busy week. We'll touch on a bit more on Monday. But what this show's really about is the ponies. Eyes on ponies. We've got Flemington, Randwick this week. A lot of good horses back. Got a Group 1 in Melbourne, a couple of Group 2s, Group 3s in Sydney. Flemington, Dicko. How's the track playing, and what are we looking for there?
We've got weather hitting now tonight. It's Thursday night as we record. There's certain, at the moment, well, let's not get carried away, but there's winds predicted on Saturday, which I think if they hit will favour leaders slightly. It's one of the fairer rail positions in Australia, consistently and historically. We're seeing tracks yo-yo, like what Tom has to deal with in Sydney is unbelievable. They're some of the worst tracks in racing at the highest level. Pakenham's gone to shit. You can't win if you're on the fence. Flemington's pretty consistent. It should be reasonably fair. It's a rail position where you can win from anywhere, like as a saying, but there are fields there on Saturday that are enormous, and you never want to be like 4 wide and last with cover, you know. So you still need to map them and make sure you're reasonably happy versus the price you're going to take that this horse can win. Having said all of that, I'm going to sort of stake early around horses that I think will settle midfield or better.
Nice, mate. We'll start in race 7, CSA Stakes. We've got Royal Insignia, $3.80. Sequels, 2 on the trot, lightly raced horse. For Roche, $8.50. $8.50, sorry. Henline, who the family might know, got done in sickening fashion. Where are we heading with this race, mate?
Interesting race. So Henline jumped out. It's had 3, I reckon. Let me check that. I think it's had 3. The last one was like off the bit, asked it to go. So I think it's further forward than it was last prep. There was a 1,000-metre trial out at like Balnarring or somewhere in the bush, and the winner of that trial was the thing that won Praddy like yesterday at Seymour, Cursinova or Chrysanova or something like that.
Yep.
That's Wednesday form, you know, and it was off the bit, and it's got a really tricky draw, and I hate its map. There's 3 horses that really interest me in the early betting. The 14 Sepals, it's like scopy as they get, got proper upside and shin sticks. There's Royal Insignia, who is like at top, has gone from nothing to everything this preparation. So it's got a big fitness edge on these horses, but it gets a reverse golden switch, so it was suited last start. Loses Mott, gets Willow. Where's it going to be in the run? That's the question. You'd prefer this horse with, say, 2 or 3 scratchings inside of him come the race. I think that the bomb-proof early bet at around $8, $9 is to 6 for Roche. Trial's enormous and has the elite, like the best, the grouse 3-year-old form. So I think this horse will be where you want to be and run. I think this horse has the CV to say it's good enough if it can progress forward from what it's got. And the trial suggests that it's absolutely humming. It is a phenomenal race. Like, it's a great race. This is very, very exciting stuff for people who do form in Melbourne. Red Ace has got ability. Stay focused, ticks boxes. And then Dollar's a horse that was disappointing, Praddy, at Sandown first up. It's drawn awfully here again. Wonder Boy has that SP. Remember, like, when the only time you could sort of be against Growing Empire last prep perhaps at Caulfield, and it started sort of the same sort of price as him that day?
Yeah.
You know, there's horses everywhere here with ability, and I really, really look forward to watching it. But at this stage, I've had a bet the 6 for Roche.
Be interesting to see what happens with Ndola and that tongue tie, if it makes any difference, if that was an excuse from last start or if it was just weak.
Well, I think it'll help, but the problem it's got is it's drawn 16, and it's never gone forward in its life, and this is the highest pressure race like lots of these horses have seen. So it's going back with Henline. It's going back with Scary, Red Aces. Those sort of horses, I think, have to go back. I think Feroce just puts itself in the race. It's thereabouts. Sepel's same sort of story. Royal Insignia, I think, will be thereabouts. Stay focused, will get a good run. Stay humble, gets a good run. But it's a messy map if you're not sort of the horses I just mentioned.
Nice, mate. $8.50. We go to the Black Caviar Lightning Stakes, the Group 1. Very exciting race this. We've got Switzerland, $2.70. Growing Empire, $3.80. I Am Me, who's a good first up horse, $7.50. Traffic Warden for the Godolphin, yard $8. Benedetta, and Longer the rest.
high pressure race. So there's a lot of tempo and energy early on those sort of forward spots. Rail true, straight races, it's often a disadvantage to be in the back third. I don't know who will end up back there other than Skybird, confidently. I've got no confident view versus the market here. A couple of things that I think are pearls for punters, right? This is a 1,000-metre race. There's not many 1,000-metre horses here. The 1,000-metre horse is probably Philosopher, who's fit as at top. It's a benchmark horse. This is elite Group 1. What do? I think what you have to do is if you bet into this race, you have to have something on Philosopher because it'll be $91, $101. You don't want to lose if it wins. I think Benedetta is the best trialer headed to the race. I think it's an 1,100 at the shortest horse, though. I think it's a 1,200-metre horse. I think Benedetta's a horse you can look at for an Everest. You can look at for... who's the next mare that's going to evolve? So sometimes you'll see mares, they take a little bit longer, but as they turn 3, then they turn 4, then they turn 5, they just get better and better. You look at your Bella Nipatinas, etc. She's proper scopy. She's got a beautiful straight track record, and she's trialled enormous. And then you got the three-year-olds, Growing Empire, Switzerland, Traffic Warden. So Growing Empire started favourite in the Coolmore versus Switzerland and Traffic Warden. Traffic Warden started shorter, I think, top of my head, than Switzerland did that day. Switzerland's trials, I'm not convinced it's flying. I'm not convinced it wants 1,000 metres. But I don't really want to question Uncle Chris and J-Mac. So I wouldn't want to lay it, but I don't want to back it. Traffic Warden, I think it's short enough. Growing Empire's never won below 1,100 metres. I think they're 3 very, very nice horses, but you can see reasons why at a really short quote, I don't think you want to get involved. If you have to have a bet and you're a sicko, gamble responsibly, 100-858-858, visit the website. A peanut on the 5 Philosopher. I think you'll get like 100-1 at the death.
Dicko, Benedetta, even Jason Warren said on the radio today that he thinks it's more a 1,100, 1,200 metre horse. Why blinkers first up? Do you reckon they just think it's airborne and going? Because it didn't wear...
Nah, blinkers is not a sign of it's going good. Blinkers is a sign of, like, we need to do something to make it go better than it's going to go. So,
right.
For me. So, blinkers off a really hot trial means they're really trying.
Yep.
And they don't think she's a 1,000-metre horse. But they think they can win this race.
Yep.
And I think they're right. It's a very hard decision if you owned her and trained her, right? Because... you could just sort of let her go and build through a prep and target a really good race like the Everest or like these horses here. Half of them, a third of them will end up in the TJ Smith Tom in Sydney, which before the Everest was invented was like the premier 1,200 metre race in Australia just about.
And then
I think you've got to just treat this for what it is. There's a lot of really talented sprinters here who are better at 1,200 than 1,000. And you're forcing it, and you're a bit sick if you're trying to have a good bet at one of these 3-year-olds. Just watch, learn, watch the betting, really watch the horses, how they go, make some good notes, and try and find an angle moving forward.
It's going to be fascinating, I think, if Switzerland comes out and goes bang, it means it's just come on over 1,000 metres. It's going to be for a huge prep. I reckon that's a very big watch. If it comes out and wins over 1,000 metres, it's for a massive, massive prep.
Yep.
And then, Dicko, why no... You didn't mention Mornington Glory. Are you concerned Flemington? I understand
I'd be considering this horse like if it was second up and had a bit of an edge.
Yep.
It's B grade form versus the other stuff, you know.
Yep.
But it's a horse that just improved and improved and improved and improved. So
yep.
I'm sort of saying I'm not really penning any horse here. I got Mornington Glory $25.
Mm-hmm.
It's $23 when I put the market into this.
Yeah, it's about 26s at the moment. So
yeah, so I'm not saying it can't win.
Yeah,
yep. I got Marzu 23. You know, I got Joyful Fortune, the second longest price in this market. And I got it double figures. I got $91. So I've got Skybird 200-1, and that's sort of what I'm saying. Like, everything else is I'm not that hard against. Tom and Praddy, you guys listening will never see this, but. Like, you know, like my bet sheet, there's no red horse here. There's no red in this market that's saying this is the horse you might lay.
Yep.
Because I'm so close to it. and I've done all the work. So I think Philosopher, I've got $31, which makes me feel sick saying that out loud. I'm embarrassed, but that's what I've got, and I think you get like 100-1, so you need to spec it. I think Weight of the Stars could run a race. It might be one of those races for the dim sim kings of the world. If you're at the pub on Saturday, like you throw the Weight of the Stars, the Philosophers into like your first fours and things like that, and hope that they hit, and it's an enormous dividend.
There's another theory to that, Dicko, is these other ones, like this is probably Philosopher's best chance, Weight of the Stars' best chance at winning the Group 1 this prep, so they're probably wound up more than your Traffic Wardens, your Switzerlands, your Growing Empires and things like that.
Philosopher is, definitely, because it's like end of prep run. This is it.
Yeah.
This is its last run of the prep. That's its other angle here, and it's a 1,000-metre horse. So, I don't know, and you haven't even, it's a deep race. I thought Stratton Angels trials were below what I'd hoped. So I was sort of looking for Stratton Angel or Benedetta to, like, jump out of the page at me and go, let's have a bet. But I couldn't do it.
Nice, mate. Righto, that's race 7 and 8 at Flemington. Dicko will have some more eyes on ponies on Saturday morning. We'll head to Randwick now. Paddy, you want to run through a few I've got?
Mate. Rail 4, and there's a little bit of rain around tomorrow and Saturday. What's doing in Sydney?
Yeah, that's the big sort of question. The sort of rain's cleared a little bit from what it was meant to be, rain on race day, but got to wait until tomorrow evening. There's meant to be a bit of rain. It's a pretty nice day up until later tomorrow arvo, so a little bit of a hold on what to expect, but hoping it's just still around that soft 5, hopefully no worse than soft 6, and the track should play pretty evenly. Don't want to be worse than midfield in the shoot races, but Randwick rail 4 usually pretty even, so we'll see how we go.
And then more importantly, with the rain potentially staying away tomorrow, is it training or golf tomorrow morning?
No, last day of pre-season officially tomorrow, so it's a big day.
Yeah, right. That's a setback. I thought you might have been able to get out to the Bonnie Doon or something like that and have a swing.
No.
Anywho, mate, you wanted to start race 3, which is the Pierro Plate over 1,100. We've got Peloton at the top of the market, $240. Shaggy, $5. United States, $550. Skyhook, $750. And then the Godolphin Blue Comedy at $10. Are you buttering up United States?
It's a good little race actually. If you're looking towards the slipper, horses I think are chances are Shaggy, Peloton, Skyhook, and United States. That probably sums up the race. I probably won't be betting it, but Shaggy, who comes down from Queensland, has won at very short prices. Have to come to Sydney. I respect it. Has run some good numbers there, so respect that. Will be outside leader. Peloton has a trial in between, won impressively, but there's just no form around that race that I'm confident with. We'll be up probably Coffin. 250 looks pretty short for me. Skyhooks, who's had the one trial, has trialled very, very well. The one trial is the only query, which is a bit disappointing. I don't know if they're cuddling it for the slipper or a couple of more races, but just that will be in the 1-1, and wouldn't surprise me if that won as well. Then United States, the other one. I wish it drew a gate. It's going to be back last. I think this horse can really go well in the big races coming up in the slipper, but sticky draw, it's going to have to be a big, big run if it wins. I still think it could win, but too many unknowns. But race 3, it's a good little race, but very sort of open affair. I won't be betting, mate, but I thought I'd just put that race in as a good little race.
Yeah. Our man Karen, like getting a lot of opportunities for Chris, eh?
Yeah, because J-Mac's down at that's what he says. He's like, it's good when J-Mac goes down. He's on Via.
I wonder if J-Mac just sort of likes emailing, if Karen's emailing J-Mac just like things about Hong Kong that are great, you know?
Sending him tourist destination, sending him.
Have you seen this school? It's like such a good school for your kids. And
That is grouse. It's a shame you don't get much of a guide into how the track may play leading into race 3 as well, with a midway and then a highway over 1,800. But anyway, we go on to race 5, the Expressway Stakes, Group 2, set weights and penalties for 3-year-olds and up. You've got the return of Joliestar. Didn't that impress first up last prep at 250? Magic Time 330, Alentia 550, I own a Merc for Airborne Bjorn at $7. Give me the Beat Boys at 9 and then Airmen at 15. Dicko.
Question for Tom. How are we going to handle Bjorn? Like, what goes up must come down. Big, thick boys are returning, you know? Like, oh, Airman's back for Hawks, you know? Oh, Beggy sent one up. Fuck. Waller's all good. All Waller's good horses are returning. Kieran's horses will be back. What are you going to do?
It is very interesting because when he has a runner, it's either winning or placing at the moment, which is ridiculous. It is going to be very interesting to see how he goes over the autumn when the big boys come out to play, because obviously he's been winning the off season, but it's a big watch. I think with this race, it's very, very hard to go past Joliestar. It's going to get a very, very similar setup to when it went bomb. First up, Randwick, same track and trip, 6-horse field. You expect a slow tempo. I own a Merc as Brawns. It's a fit horse. It's had a lot of runs. Will be thereabouts in run. Magic Time has come from Melbourne. Has trialled very well. It's had some good SPs in Group 2s, but give me the Beat Boys. Has got some good numbers over in Europe. Has trialled reasonably well as well. So I think that can run a good race. But Joliestar will be back in the field. And yeah, this will be my best bet of the day. I just think it will just go. Loves Randwick first up. The trials are very, very sexy if you want to go have a look at them. But yeah, Joliestar, this will be probably a 3-unit bet for me.
3 from 2, track and trip.
Are you waiting price-wise, or you think you should get on now for those?
Yeah, I haven't bet it yet, but because I don't want to lose my 3-uniters because I've gone 1 5-unit bet and 1 3-unit bet this year, and they've both won. So I just want to really get that.
Yeah, but Dicko, you know what this means? Perhaps you're saying don't bet now. Maybe just have a sprinkle on now, punters, because we know what's going to happen. It's going to be a big win and win. Should have taken 250. It's going to start 225. He's going to, he'll tell the punters to have 3 units, but in his head he'll be debating a little bit.
He just knows all the stuff about himself, doesn't he? Like, I was all right. I think I had 26 touches.
You got to toot the horn.
Yeah, but very keen Joliestar, I think. Can really be big star in the autumn.
Can Airman step up, perhaps? Do you think it might be a player in the autumn? They scratched last week from the Group 2, the Rubiton, to run here. Do you think it's a chance to do something this autumn? Yeah,
the trials were, so for context for us, 7 out of 10 trials, maps well. Good 2-back, last prep beating Balla, so that's good form. But I just think that Joliestar and Magic Time has more class than Airman.
Beautiful, mate. Then we go over to race 7, which is another Group 2, the Light Fingers, which is a set weights for the fillies for the 3-year-olds. Ooh, Lady Shenandoah is back, top of the market, 310. Lady of Camelot is next at 320. Manal, $5. Dance to the Boom, the undefeated galloper at 13s, and then longer the rest. Is anything race outside of the top 2?
Very, very good race. Love doing this race, actually. Some good little sort of what ways you can go. Manal's trial very well. I'll have that around just over market. It was pretty
a tricky barrier for you too.
Yeah. It's just got very easy runs last prep, and this is going to be a bit more tricky. So I just sort of cut that out, and then it's come up with Lady Camelot and Lady Shenandoah. I've gone with Lady Camelot, but the trial pervs and the horny as over Lady Shenandoah. Massive trial report, Lady Shenandoah. My query is 1,200 metres. Does it have the turn of foot? Apparently in the trials, I went watching them as well. It did show a very good turn of foot. Lady Camelot last start was held up against Private Harry. And Private Harry was often gone, held up, and then really hit the line well. It's got the blinkers on, gets Tim Clark, who's 1 out of 4. I'd expect it to lead or coffin with the blinkers on. I'm going with that because of the run under its barrel. Trial in between was okay, but gays don't trial that well anyway. But I'm going for the 1,200 metre horse over Lady Shenandoah. But I think Lady Shenandoah will be really, really good this prep. I think it can really go bang over 1,400, 1,600. Not that good with the futures.
Can I get
Lady
the tinfoil
Shenandoah.
hat on here?
Mm?
It's already won a Group 1. It's Uncle Chris. How wound up is it?
Yeah.
Are they aiming for some big, thick race, or are they fired up and just going to pinch another one here?
That's
These
what
are
I
the
was.
things that go through my head, because they don't know it's got barrier 7 while they're prepping this horse up.
Mm.
And speaking of tinfoil hats, this race is a race where you want to refresh the app and make sure you get Scuzz's stuff. 3-year-old fillies, the elite ones. And particularly with that little panic I've just had, like, he can sort of help you with, this horse is like perfect Waller, or it's 2 away Waller.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree. It's good race. I like. It's good. I'm looking forward to this race. It's going to be. My plan is hopefully Shenandoah just gets that held up a little bit. Lady Camelot's off and gone, and Lady Shenandoah flies to second. And we land on Lady Camelot. But good race. Looking forward to hopefully Scuzz knocks Lady Shenandoah.
I think it's been nommed for the Randwick and Rosehill Guineas, Lady Shenandoah.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at it now while Tom talks about it, and I see it's won a Group 1. I see that it hasn't won below 1400 metres, but it's raced at a pretty elite level. So I see question marks about it, and I wouldn't trust anything they say. I'll watch the market late, and I'd listen to Scurry late.
And
to go it is going to be sharp enough at 12. Because I agree with you, with that barrier, it's going to be within firing distance, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing with Shenandoah, which relates back to Scuzz, I've got first up here last prep. Scuzz said was no good in the yard, sweating up and playing up Lady Shenandoah. So that's a big watch with Lady Shenandoah.
Well, that's not a good push for Scurry because it won.
Yeah, true. But then it's come out. But then it's come out and it's been good in the yard and won by 3 lengths next start.
Yeah,
that was
improved significantly up to 1600 metres.
That's what I've said. Was no good playing up in the yard.
Because the other thing now that we're just getting deep diving into the dark arts and tinfoil hats and dark princes and horses whispering to Scurry and Scurry telling us what they said, is I'm looking at this horse and I'm seeing 2 preps, 2 runs in each prep. Is she a really light filly, or has she got a little bit of an issue where they can't keep her up for too long? So when you sort of start to think this is Waller, he'll aim this horse at a big race at the middle to back of autumn. Maybe she's a light little filly and they're just going to go bang.
It's a Group 2 though.
I've just confused myself and everyone who's listening. That's what I'm saying. That's what Waller does to me.
Yeah, 100%. He is a big pattern operator, so if you can think of a horse that he's trained that might have kicked off early and then gone to 1,600 or 2,000 metre races, if you can work out his pattern, you might be able to work out where that horse might be going.
Let's just refresh on the captain's run, because we're having a team meeting. Remember last spring, our one Waller theory that I think stood up was they can fire. So this horse can fire fresh on Saturday. Joliestar might piss in. Next start, it'll go around at $1.60, and we have to lay that horse. Regardless of what everything says, we have to remember one of the 10 commandments is lay Waller's boom horse second up off the explosion.
Hey,
and the next start, it'll lose, and third up, it'll go around at $4.50, and it will piss in.
Oh,
Via
that's funny
Sistina
you say that. Via Sistina is that exact horse. It was $11.
Fangirl, it's his good horses go bang. They have a week off. He sends them to the beach or something, or the Parramatta River, whatever the fuck he does out there. And then they come back and they go bang. And everyone just gets great up by him.
Yep.
Via Sistina was heavy track though, Paddy, wasn't it?
That was a heavy 9, that is correct. That is correct. But still, $11 at one, the Wink Stakes. Then it was $2.60 in the Mackay Diva, lost. Then came out and won the Turnbull, pissed in the Cox Plate, and won the Championship Stakes. And then you were looking at SPs of $4 and $5 third and fourth up, when had it run anywhere near second up, it was probably $3 and $1.80.
It really shit the bed in the Mackay too. It didn't lose. It failed.
Actually, I remember that day, how much it remember the rain on that day.
It pissed rain. It was back and
on
buried.
on the race.
And like they started straightening, you're like, oh, it's going to be pretty good, this thing.
Yeah, and then
you like find you're like, oh, we're dust.
Yep.
Anyway, that's our lesson from last spring. I just thought there's a little put up on the whiteboard. Let's not forget that. Let's move forward with that in the back of our minds. You know, like whatever Tom's doing at the fucking Academy of Sports there in Sydney, you know, don't go short at 50-50s, no U-turns, that sort of shit. Beware of the Waller horse, second up off the big spike.
Fuck, that was the biggest one that my coach used to say in under 16s. Is that still the go? Perhaps no U-turns? That is like ingrained in my brain, no U-turns. Is that still spoken about at the club or what?
Depends what license you got.
What's it?
Yeah.
Love it.
The Chad. We got to get. I want to get Chad on too. Talk about the English sales.
Yeah, we'd be able to get him on. He's sick for it.
Then let's get to the Apollo lads race 8, which is a Group 2 again for 3-year-olds and up over 1400. We have Via Sistina returning top of the market, $1.95. Fangirl $4. How do you say the horse number 1 here, Dicko?
Cheo Wolf.
Cheo Wolf.
How good's this whole day in Sydney and in Melbourne?
It's a
lot. It's crazy.
We're back.
Yep, 100%.
When's round 1? How long till round 1?
3 weeks.
Oh, that is so good. And then we've got a tissue, $18 and along with the rest, mate. Is it Via or bust, or are we just watching?
I'm going to assess. I'm going to wait for the Scuzz again. I couldn't back Via at the price and the map and over 1400. Yes, it won at 1400, but too short. It's going to be back and buried. Cheo Wolf has improved every prep. Big watch on that. Trialled very, very nicely. We were some midfield. The map's an interesting one. Like if could be even just a live bet. It's interesting to see where Fangirl lands. If Lindemann and Golden Path will go forwards, Zadozi could even land in the coffin. But if Fangirl's like last, I don't think you want to be on. But if Fangirl can land 3 pairs back, midfield, good first up form. The 1400 metre horse compared to these other horses. Flies first up, loves the track and trip. If there was one I wanted to be on, it'd be Fangirl. But percentages are it's going to be at least 3 pairs, hopefully not 4 pairs back. But if Scuzz's stamped Fangirl in the yard, I'd probably have a little bit on at around the $4. But it's a good little race, even though it's only 7 in it, 8 in it. But if you're going to say who's on top, you'd probably go Via, but not at the price. I'd back Fangirl at the price.
It's a massive day for Scurry, eh? When you look at it, like when we go through it now.
Yeah, a lot of first up horses.
What about bloody Zardozi?
I
thought that was winning the Melbourne Cup for about like 2,900 metres.
I think it would be in Cummins' head still.
Yeah, I've done it. It's going to be great. Watch this, Das. Oh, you want to know about a proud moment that brought tear to my eye with Das?
Go on.
He's evolved. We've got to stamp out. I don't know how Tom's fucked him so badly with this be tough. Like, it's all he says. But he's evolved, right? We're watching one today, and he goes, "Oh, Dad, it's travelling."
Gee whiz.
I said it is travelling.
It's outrageous.
That is seriously gold.
He's so
The day he turns to you and goes...
He spent school for like a week and a half. He gets home from school and goes, "Dad, let's put the races on."
The day he turns to you, Dicko, and goes, "We've got Pony here." That's when you know you're in trouble. If he says to you, "We've got Pony," you're in real strife.
And the day I back, and I could have another bad bet, and he goes, "Why did you back that?" That's an all really.
But just back to Scars, that's the mailbag.com.au. Click on Rob Scurry's New South Wales Mounting Yard Mail. It's an enormous day for Mounting Yard in Sydney. It's only $19.99 for the day. Get on board. He'll hold your hand. And as Pap said, if there's a few that you're not sure and whatever, he gives you an update on every runner. So you'll know exactly what the horse looks like going into the race. So get on the mailbag.com.au.
Any other bets around the grounds? We almost sent Just Folk to this race, the Apollo Stakes.
Really?
But,
yeah.
And then you had a look at it and thought, fuck that.
I actually said to Gav, let's try and get Karen because he's an early crow man, you know, he's a good man. And he said, Okay. Then he said, he's riding Via Sistina. Well, let's maybe stay in Melbourne.
Yeah, Praddy was knocking the midways and highways before, but we might have a winner in them first.
This is what we like to hear. Go on.
Catch the Glory, huge
Race?
peak.
Which race?
Race 1, number 11.
Tyler Schiller sticks, maps midfield, big peak first up. Hoping he can go on with it. That's the only query. Big peak first up may come off that, but it's a lightly raced horse. I think they're really good horses to back in the midways because they've got not like over raced, bit of scope, not like over raced or 6-7 runs in the prep. This is first, second up, fourth run in its career, and
54 kgs, Tommy.
Yeah,
Barrier 7, Tommy. Might be barrier 5 by the time they jump. Oh, yeah.
There we go. Around $4, is it? $4.50.
Yeah, $3.60 at the moment. Must have been been a money.
Nah. I think it was always that.
Yeah, fair. Dicko, you've said that you're speccing for Oche early in race 7, but what's your best of the day for the punters at Flemington?
Oh, P-Rat.
Have I stumped you? Well, what's another one that you're backing that you're confident on at the price?
Race 6, number 2, Just Folk at $13 is big. It's a good race. Short and lane, 16 back to 14 on the quick back up. Very well placed by Kieran and his team. But then again, I just saw one of their horses dive back to the fence here in race 7 at Pakenham when the fence is dust. So let's not overestimate them. But well placed short and lane. But Just Folk at $13 is fat. And a double header in race 5 at like $18 plus, 2 horses. The 3, He's Our Bonneville, little box ticker, nice enough trial. And the 9, Pioneer River. Failed last start, but brutal tempo at 1400. I know how he trains. He'll freshen this horse up, giving it a little bit of time off. It'll be ready to go. He doesn't send him unless he's happy with him. And I think $19 is a big price in a very even race. Most of them can win, but you're getting 2 horses that are winners recently, and a big fat prices and tick a lot of boxes. That's He's Our Bonneville and Pioneer River in race 5. That's enough, I think. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is plenty.
Nice one.
Punters. Perhaps does that wrap us up for episode 22 of the Captain's Run?
Does, mate. Wraps us up. Episode 22. Autumn is back. If you're not in the pub or at home watching the races on Saturday, you're doing it wrong. So
aren't you
that's
training
us.
something?
No.
Let's have a phenomenal day. P-Rat and I headed to Flemington for Shiny Deal Race 1.
Yep, I'll be there race 1.
Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858 or visit the website. This is the Captain's Run, 10 to 15 minute show that's gone for about 45 to an hour. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you. You'll hear us on Monday. Bye for now.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.